Oh, hello. Well, greetings, fellow slingers. Welcome back to World Hard 20 podcast. It is I, your trusted DM, Brian, welcoming you back once again to our Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh sessions. But before I suggest that everyone warm up their dice and top off their glass, I got a few announcements to make. Yeah, you caught me in the middle of drinking an ice cold one, but you're going to have to wait. I got some good news. May 19th, the fellow Hard Slingers and myself will be returning to the Rage Room. Once again, we will be gathered round that table of judgment. Why? Well, I'm glad you asked. Because our Carrion Crown run through Book 2, Trial of the Beast, will begin. Now, I have some bad news for you, or rather just different news. I will not be videoing those sessions, but we will still be videoing the Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh until we come to the conclusion of that one. Why? Because I'm just not much of a video editor. Now, moving on to something else, I want to give a shout out to Jay Roman, who is a fellow Hard Slinger and good friend of the show. Dates back before we even had a podcast when we used to game at the old comic shop. He's been really promoting this show, and I just want to give a shout out to Jay and say thanks for everything you do, brother. Here's a drink for you. Also, I hope that this quarantine crisis finds everyone doing well. I know things are really looking dour right now, but believe me, I believe that the light at the end of the tunnel can finally be seen. Remember, everybody, stay strong, tighten up that chin strap, and loosen up the sword. Let's prepare to do battle. We will prevail. Now, as always, I want to tell everyone how they could get in touch with the show. Head on over to rollhard20podcast.com and you can see the website. We've got all kinds of pictures up for Riders on the Storm campaign, for our Carrion Crown run through, and for the Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh. So head on over there and check it out. If you have any questions, feel free to write into the show at rollthehard20podcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And also, one final thing, we do have a Patreon page out there at patreon.com/rollthehard20podcast. For as little as $1 a month, you can join the fellow Hard Slingers. So don't be shy, head on over there. We got some really cool incentives along those different tiers, so be sure to check those out. And I'm not talking about tiers like, no, tiers like levels. Well, I think that about covers everything, so prepared for Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh Session 6. Now, warm up your dice and top off your glass as we bring it to you now.
I am ready. Actually, let me silence my cell phone. I don't want to pull a Brian.
Yeah.
Or a Junior. Either or.
Come on.
Greetings, fellow slingers.
I'm ready. I silenced my phone.
You better shut up, man. I'm leaving this now.
Well, let's just talk for a little bit more. I don't see what the problem is.
You're already late. Junior's going to get upset. He's already late. Greetings, fellow slingers. Welcome back to Roll the Hard 20 podcast. It is I, your trusted hard slinger, Brian, and sitting beside me because he doesn't know his calendar is fellow hard slinger, Nick.
Yep.
I have the fellow hard slinger, Junior, who is our technical expert, and our untrustworthy, inadequate DM who can't even operate Skype.
All right. I am disconnecting from the call.
Mute hard slinger 1 and 2.
All right. Let's jump into it, man. Let's not kill any more time. So let's go straight to the recap. So our 3 adventurers finally crossed paths with Sanbalet. Sanbalet was pretty eager to make a deal with the adventurers, but in addition to crossing paths, they seem to be much more concerned with crossing swords, and attacked Sanbalet and his fellow bandits. After a close contest, the adventurers succumbed to Sanbalet and his spells, making a deal with Sanbalet. Alanon had agreed to help Sanbalet in a good old-fashioned double cross against the smuggler ship that was coming in the following night. So after a long rest, the adventurers are now ready to board the ship, and at nightfall, a ship has come, not too close, but a little bit off from the coast in which they are resting, and has sent out a signal, and the Morse code for this would be dash dot dot dot. That brings us into where we are now. So how does everyone react to this? Are you guys looking to someone else for guidance?
Yeah. Decoding the Morse code, Alanon actually knows what it is, or thinks he knows what it is, and it's weird that he just gave just a letter.
Fair enough. Do you relay that information to anyone? What do you do with that knowledge?
I'll tell everyone else there, just in secret, keeping it from Sanbalet. Yeah, I'd be like, I don't know what the secret code was, but he just told him B.
B, like everybody be cool or just be mellow?
Just B. I don't know if it's code for something.
All
Out
right.
of personal curiosity, are you the only one that looked that up?
I looked it up too, but I just saw a letter. I was like, what the fuck is this?
In my defense, I was pretty tore up when we left last week.
He didn't. Thought it was like dash
Totally
dash
forgot.
dot.
I do still have the dashes though, right there.
Well, you got it right, man. There you go. Okay, so you are all muttering against amongst yourselves. Sanbalet instead makes a beeline to the small, like, jolly boat in front of you guys and digs through it and pulls out a bullseye lantern and a parchment. And then he quickly looks at the parchment, starts filling with the bullseye lantern. He initially turns it on, it's like pointing at him. He has to turn it off, turn around the other way. And then he then sends a signal over to the boat, and it is dot dash dot dash. And then after a brief pause, the boat returns the signal dash dash dash. At that point, Sanbalet motions to the three of you and says, well, it looks like they're ready. Let's get on the boat and make our way to the sea ghost.
Now, what's the weather like on the water?
Oh man, I'm so glad you fucking asked. I have this weather dice, so I'm gonna go ahead and roll it right now.
Sure.
It is raining today.
Raining? Is
It
the
is raining.
water really choppy, or is it still just coming down on it?
It's just coming down on it.
Okay. So that's just us three and Sanbalet, right? On this little boat?
Sanbalet, the boat, and then so not another person, but there is one crate that you know is of the smuggled goods on the jolly boat. That's it.
Okay. And that's not the baby dragon parts, right? That's in that box, that crate?
That's what's in there. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a number of boxes of that, and he's only taking one with you on the.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, makes sense. Sorry,
All right,
you were gonna say something.
Who?
You,
Me?
Brian.
Oh, I was just saying, I'm gonna get on an oar and start digging into the water.
Okay, so we got one oar. Who's taking the other one? Alanon.
I'll take the other one. I think.
You guys can share. No one's opposed to you guys share.
I mean, this is great. I'll let the old man, recuperate his health.
Okay.
All right, thank
So,
you.
two of you are taking the oars. The two spellcasters, it seems, are just relaxing at this point on the jolly boat in the rain. So while you are making your way there, it doesn't seem like it's going to be a very quick journey. You're not making a lot of headway in this jolly boat all that quickly. You think it's probably going to take you like 15, 20 minutes to get from the coast to this other ship. So during that time, Sanbalet, after a few moments of silence, decides to break the silence, and he asks, how much do the three of you know about your proprietor, about Galen?
I'm want to remain tight-lipped about this myself,
Mm-hmm.
as far as what I personally know, and I just want to tell him that what all we did was just receive some information from the barkeep about receiving the job, and that's all that we really know. I've never met the man yet.
I hear that's a fairly common story. Is there anything that you have? I'm concerned that, of course, that Galen has convinced the smugglers to turn against me. I was wondering if you had any information on him that I could use to kind of confirm that assumption when we're on the ship, if there's anything I could find or recognize of that nature.
What is it you're looking for? How we contacted him, or what is it you're looking for?
If you had any leads as to how I would know that he's somehow influenced members of the ship or influenced anyone else.
Be on the lookout for if anybody holds a left hand to the left eye with two fingers. Just be on the lookout for that. It seems to be their signal.
Okay, I will be on the lookout for that.
Now,
I ask all of you to do the same.
I've never met this man Galen before. Have you?
No, certainly not. We're more like pen pals.
Do you know what he looks like?
No, I've never seen him. I've never heard what he looks like.
Well, if you hear that he's on board, I would appreciate it if you would let me know immediately. I have a personal score to settle with this man.
That would be no problem. I intend to rally as many people as I can if I were to find him on this.
Wait, we gotta get in sync.
You guys are making like P90X work out. After 20 minutes, you guys find your way to this boat. Now that you're close to it, you see that it's maybe, you assume, like 90 feet long. There's another jolly boat that's tied up to kind of the front of the ship, and there looks to be a ladder off to the side. And you guys are, sorry, just to let you know, you guys are on the port side.
Now, do we see anybody lining the rails waiting for us, or what's
for people waiting for you? There's one person. So as you were coming closer, you saw where the light was coming from, which was the what is it called? The crow's nest. So in the crow's nest, there was someone that was signaling with the lantern. About halfway to your journey to the boat, you saw someone leave from the crow's nest and come down. And you assume that's the person that's right now standing next to the ladder waiting for you.
Very good.
Attack!
So right now he's just standing there waiting for you. The ladder is down. He's got a lantern out there. He's not really saying anything or anything, but it looks like he's waiting for you.
I take one of the ropes and lash the mooring to the side of the vessel itself and try to hold it steady so everybody else can get up the side of the boat.
All right, perfect. And then do you have a particular order that you guys are going up in?
Al-Anon will go on board.
And just so you know, is anyone trying to convince Sanbalet, or actually just so I know, is anyone trying to convince Sanbalet to go first? Otherwise he's going to go last.
I'll have to go last.
Okay.
Because I'm holding the boat with the lash.
Okay, got it. So Al-Anon's first. Dorian, are you going to try and get Sanbalet to go before you, or you don't care, you're just going to go?
I'll go second.
Okay. All right, so we got Alanon comes up, Dorian, and then Sanbalet, and then finally Ellis comes up. So you guys make your way up the ladder while Ellis is keeping the boat more or less stuck with the rope. Before you go, do you I assume you tie off the boat in some manner?
Yeah, I was just holding it steady against the side of the hull to keep it from banging around, but I am keeping it lashed as tight as I can to it so that it won't float away.
Okay, so as soon as the four of you get up, the crew member that is at the ladder, he will beckon for two more people to come. They have ropes, and it looks like they are going down to bring up the jolly boat that you have. So they're going to take the ropes and bring it underneath the boat so that they can, again, use levers and stuff to bring it up, kind of raise it up like the other jolly boat that's attached to the side. And so as you for standing there, again, the crew member with the lantern is going to slowly take the lantern. He's going to raise it to everyone's faces, and he's going to say, "Welcome back, Sanbalet. Who are these three? I haven't seen these three amongst your ranks. What happened to Luke, Owen, Michael?" And Sanbalet is just he's going to whisper something into the crew member's ear, and then he will lock eyes with someone on the upper deck. It's going to be hard to see for you three exactly what he looks like, but he's also dressed in robes and he has a staff.
Sanbalet's looking at him, or the
Sanbalet.
deckhand? Okay.
And he will step back, and then he again will look at the three of you, raise the lanterns to the three of you, and say, "Well, welcome to the Sea Ghost." And then he will leave and return to make his way back to the Crow's Nest. So to give you a quick description of the Crow's Nest, it's obviously a large post. The sides of it are effectively all walled. It's like 3-foot high walls, and the path into it is a 4x4, 2x2 square hatch in which a ladder comes out. All right, and now it's been a while since I got to give a cool blurb, so I'm going to give you the blurb for the main deck. All right, though the light is dim at best, you can see details of the ship's main deck. In the center forward of the mast, a jolly boat is lashed to the deck with ropes. Aft of the mast is a hatch to the below decks area, and a rope ladder climbing to the crow's nest above. Two human figures lean against the rail mid-deck, staring towards the coast. Between them at deck level is a roll of canvas, and to fore and aft below the upper decks stand vague outlines of doors. You can also see ladders that lead to the upper decks, the aft one on the port side and forward one on the starboard.
Okay. So the other rope figure is at the aft end of this ship, right? Is that where he's at? Where Sanbalet made eye contact? He's back to the back of the boat on the upper deck? Okay.
He's at the aft. So, and to give you a little bit more about what's going on here, there's two sets of doors on either side, and then there are stairs leading up to the upper decks on either side. The doors towards the bow look to be a little bit fancier, a little bit nicer than the other two doors.
So we can probably surmise that the cruise lives in the back and the captain lives at the bow.
I don't know why you'd say that, but yeah, maybe. So when you guys are left to your own devices, Sanbalet will come to the three of you. He'll say, I've gotten the three of you, not necessarily a free pass through the boats, but more or less you can wander around in the main deck. Just be careful of whose quarters you're entering. Try to find some information that this is in some way linked to Gellin. In the meantime, I will distract the captain and his wizard. And then with that, he's going to leave for the aft of the ship.
Can I ask him something before he leaves?
Mhm.
I want to know, do you know that other wizard?
We've worked together in the past, and the captain actually I've heard of before. I don't necessarily know his name, but I know he's referred to as Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes. He's
So
the
he was-
reason I'm concerned that there may have been influenced by Gellin. There was a change of captains, and I heard that Snake Eyes, as he is called, was going to handle the shipments going forward.
Was he part of the G.I. Joe crew? Do you know?
Perhaps, maybe, rather, there's so many families around here. And then he leaves.
wait, before you take off.
And then he turns around again. What is it this time?
Sambo. I call you Sambo, right?
We are not friends. You may call me Sanbalet.
Oh. Sambalet.
How quickly you agreed.
Right? You showed him.
Apparently, he doesn't really likes to be formally, addressed.
Don't call him Chuck, call him Charles.
Do you have a safe word that we know that you're in distress, like pineapple or get him now? That way we know shit's going south. And
I was not planning on
vague.
I was not planning on any foreplay, but he'll produce half of a set of speaking stones, and he'll hand it to you, Eleanor. If you find any evidence of Gellin's influence on the ship, let me know. I will seek you out. I'll try to do likewise.
All right, got it, Sambo.
Now go get laid.
Sammy!
All right. Sambalet turns to leave, pauses, looks to see if you guys have anything else to say, and then heads off.
Okay.
Tori doesn't have anything. Oh no, now I'm worried.
Okay, I actually do have a question for you.
Oh shit.
Where's the
What did I
rest?
do?
I'm gonna ask him. Do you know what's behind the fancy doors at the bow of the ship? You know who's in there? So the captain.
Yes, one's the captain, one's the wizard's quarters. Can't necessarily say which is which. I haven't been on this ship too often.
Okay.
Well, we should probably check out the aft suites.
Yeah, sweet.
Which I have.
So the aft has the two. The aft has the two less descript doors. Oh, and sorry, just to give a correction here. In addition to those two doors, there is a set of stairs going down.
Where? Between them?
Between the two doors.
Okay. Well, we'd be foolish to split ourselves up, but I say we start from the bottom and work our way up top.
Okay. Alanon, give me a religion check.
Come on, Paladin.
All right. That is a 16.
16? Okay. So when the three of you make your way towards the door, the aft of the boat, and the doors and the staircase, you can't help but reminisce about the fact that you were kind of waiting for your god to point you towards your quest. You've been taking jobs, this whole time, and you still haven't really gotten the signal. But no one's nodded to you. So when you get onto this boat, you first have this kind of strange feeling. But now that you have made your way to this side of the ship, you feel like something, you were meant to be here. Something on this boat your God wants you to find.
Oh, right.
You're being gently pulled.
Yeah.
Gods like to slightly tug off.
Being slightly tugged.
I'll just kind of.
This is a tugboat at this point.
Yeah. I just kind of get the better feeling, like, all right, we're on to something here. Just good feeling as we're heading down the stairs.
Okay, yeah. So you guys are definitely heading down the stairs. I don't know I didn't notice if you guys agreed or not. Hey, Junior, do you see Brian's camera moving? I don't. I see you moving, and I see Brian's pause.
He froze in a funny
Yeah, I did. They seem very happy. That's good. So here's the problem with Nick being there. We've lost half our players because Brian froze.
That is true. Oh man, he's coming back alive. I think we lost him. Hold on.
I think we lost him, man. I'm worried now.
All right, Al-Anon's going to carry on the mission by himself.
Yeah, okay. You're going by yourself at this point. I wanted to read the blurb while they're paused, but then I realized they need to kind of see what's going on in the blurb too.
Yeah, let me send them a message real quick and see if they could pick that up. Oh, there they are.
There, you guys are back.
Did you guys hear everything?
What?
Did you hear everything?
Now you're frozen, Koosh.
What the fuck, man?
He's moving. I see him.
I can hear him now. Yeah.
God.
You know why? Because you got on 40 minutes late, Koosh.
40 minutes late. We're how many? We're like 49 minutes into the recording.
Well, we started without you. We recorded all your blunders.
Oh man. Okay. We feeling good? We feel like we're gonna keep going without any crashes.
We're gonna head
Just
down
so you
the
know,
stairs without crashes.
most of the time, we can still hear you if we crash. Like if we freeze, I can still hear you. You don't have to
Okay,
stop.
I wasn't hearing you guys, so that's also problematic though. I don't know, Junior, did you hear them at all or no?
I couldn't hear them.
Alright, shit. Do we want to put a pause in to like snip some of this out?
No, keep going. Can you hear me?
Alright.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, just keep reading.
Alright, man. So, you guys go down the stairs. You go down, and then it says you turn left, and then you come and you turn again to go down and make your way to the cargo hold. So, another brief description. The cargo hold, the lantern light reveals an orderly cargo hold. Through the center runs the base of the main mast. Beside it, narrow wooden stairs lead up to the hatch above. Against the aft bulkhead are stacked bolts of cloth, lashed by ropes to buckets, bolted to the deck so that they are secure. On each side are stacked a large number of small casks, also secured by rope to the deck. And it's not mentioned in here, but behind you see two more sets of doors, and then in front of you see one door. So that basically on the bow side of the wall, or on the wall on the bow side, there is one door, and on the aft side there are two more doors behind you.
And we're at the aft right now, right?
Yep.
Can I see what's in the casks?
Yeah, go ahead. When you you don't even need to do investigation. When you dig through the casks, you see that there are bolts of silk. There's brandy and wine, and then some mining tools. It doesn't seem like there's anything too conspicuous in these.
Are the crates similar to the ones we found earlier in the tunnels?
There are no crates. It's basically all barrels here.
Oh, all
They're
barrels.
like tied down.
All right. I want to check what's in the barrels.
It's exactly what I told Brian.
Oh, okay.
So they all look the same.
Yep.
That's racist.
These damn barrels.
Barrels. They're very different on the inside, but on the outside, they mostly look like
Are
barrels.
there any holes in the side of the barrel?
Every single barrel has at least one hole.
Are there any that have more than one hole?
Every once in a while, there's two. They're uncomfortably close to each other.
One's in the bottom of the barrel. One's All right, well, let's check the door on the, well, that would be our right, which would be on the port side.
Yeah. That's the one door, right?
Yeah, because as we're looking towards the aft, the port is now on our right side. So I want to check that door right there.
What a sailor you are.
Oh, gotcha.
Seaman.
Get in that barrel for me, will you?
All right. So this door is unlocked. You open the door and you are greeted by a cabin that looks to belong to someone that is of slightly more importance than a regular crew member. When you open it, in the center of the cabin sits a plain wood table on which stand a pewter flagon and a pewter mug. Beside the table is a wooden chair, and hanging over the table is an unlit hooded lantern. Also hanging from the ceiling at the aft end of the cabin is a large cage that holds a parrot, apparently asleep. Next to the hull hangs an unoccupied hammock. Beneath it is a brass-bound wooden sea chest. And this room is more or less 15 by 15 in regards to dimensions.
Do we want to keep
Yes.
a lookout?
But I'm curious what might be in that case down there.
My curiosity has been sparked as well. But since we are guests on this boat, maybe we should have someone interfere with maybe an unwelcomed or undesired guest that happens to walk by.
Very well.
Yeah, Dorian will keep watch. I'll be the lookout.
I wouldn't want to do anything unethical here. I'll make sure the paladin forgives me when I'm done.
Okay, so Dorian is just standing at the door at this point.
I am concerned about that parrot, though.
Do you guys step in or no? Are you guys still outside?
Not yet. We just decided to keep a lookout. We haven't stepped in yet.
We're looking around.
Okay. What else are you guys doing? After you guys are done looking around so bravely.
I'd like to stealth my way into the room.
Yes. Disable that alarm.
With sword drawn, I purposely look forward to disabling the alarm. Oh, yeah. 22.
22? Okay, you're able to quietly make your way into the cabin. And as you come in, you hear, "Alright, pieces of 8." And that's it. And after that, it's done and it looks like it's gone back to sleep.
Wait, did you say pieces of hate or pieces of 8?
8.
8.
Pieces
Okay.
of ass. You broke up.
8 pieces of ass. One squawking parrot.
Okay. Now continue to move
Yeah.
in.
Okay. And then, are the two of you, are the other two still kind of standing watch, or what's going on with the two of you?
I'm kind of
Especially
like
after
at
you
the
hear
doorway.
that noise.
At that point, I'll walk in as well.
Okay.
And then Dorian will stay out, and he has his back turned to the other guys, and he's just like looking out into the main cabin area.
Okay. So Dorian, while you're looking out, you don't see any motion after hearing that. You heard this squawk. Tensions were a little bit high, but after that, Nothing.
Go.
Okay. So, Alanon and Ellis, you guys are now in the room. What would you guys like to do while you're in there?
I want to get a little closer to that chest and see if it's unlocked. I want to check it for traps first, though.
All right, go ahead, check for traps.
Would that be Dex or sleight of hand?
To check for traps, you can use perception or investigation.
Okay, 18.
18. Don't find any traps.
Okay. Is it locked? Can I tell if it's
just
locked?
locked. So in your investigation, you find out it's locked, but it's not trapped.
Will you forgive me if I attempt to unlock this lock? Alanon,
Go for it.
forgive me, for I have sinned. And I want to try. I was waiting for that. I'm going to try to pick the lock. Oh, even better. That's what do you want me to roll with that? Sleight of hand on that?
Thieves' tools. I think we mentioned that you had proficiency in Thieves' tools, so it's Dex plus proficiency.
Okay. 3, 2, so it's 5. 23.
23.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So you manage to wiggle around with your Thieves' tools, and you're able to unlock it. When you open it up, you find 200 silver pieces, a spear, a dagger, and the remains of a crossbow.
Of a crossbow?
Yeah.
What part of the crossbow?
It is basically just so it's everything but the bow part.
Okay.
So it's,
I wanna
most of the
take that-
mechanisms are there and stuff, but you don't have any of the nice bow stuff to actually make it fire.
Okay, well, I'll grab the crossbow piece, and I
Okay.
want to see what it feels like, because I have a crossbow as well, and I just want to, because I'm familiar with them, I want to see if it feels different or anything, other than the bow being gone off it, like.
It feels, so one thing, it feels like it is smoother and more polished, like someone has been taking very good care of it, and it also feels a little bit heftier than yours.
What do you think? I don't know if I'm ready to take anything that we can't account for. I don't know how long this trip is going to be.
We're here to find information.
I mean, this isn't information. This is just junk. I'm here for a completely different reason right now.
I would say just put it back if you don't feel comfortable, and we'll continue on. You said there was what else was in the room? Sorry, there was
There's a pewter mug, pewter flagon. There's a table, a hooded lantern, a hammock, and then below the hammock was the chest.
All right, let me go back by the table and investigate what's on the table. And does he have any drawers at his desk, or is it just like a plain like picnic table?
It is like a plain, like a coffee table or dining table kind of thing. So there's no drawers, nothing that he can hide in there. Yeah, go ahead and roll investigation.
All right.
In the meantime, I need Ellis and Dorian to roll perception. And then, sorry, what did you get on your investigation?
Shit.
14.
14. All right.
I can't see if that's a 5 or a 6. 9.
What did Dorian get?
19.
19. Okay, weirdly enough. So, Ellis, you don't really notice or hear anything. Alanon, you're busy investigating the table, and you don't really find anything of value there other than the pewter mug, or sorry, I said pewter flagon and pewter mug. But Dorian, you've had your eyes and ears on the lookout this entire time, and behind you, from inside the room, you hear someone calling out for help in Elvish. It's the faintest noise.
Okay, as I hear that, kind of just turn around real quick, like, do you guys hear that?
What do you hear, Dorian?
Someone just asked for help. They're speaking Elvish.
I don't speak Elvish, but I believe you.
I don't know. I haven't had much time.
Is it deeper in the ship?
It sounded like it came from somewhere in the room or somewhere close to this room.
In our room, he hears it.
Yep.
I would like to, perhaps under the chest, maybe. I want to put my ear to the floor. Tell me where you hear it, Dorian. Kind of look around, listen around.
Go ahead and roll with advantage.
20.
20? Okay.
That's what they're
Wait, you can roll the 20? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So while you're listening in, you actually don't necessarily hear it from below, but again, sound travels better through some sort of medium. So while you put your ear to the wood, you do hear it. You do hear the noise that Dorian mentioned. You can't translate it. I'm assuming you don't speak Elvish, actually. You can correct me if that's wrong. But you hear.
I don't understand you. What did you say?
You hear directly ahead of you at the back wall, so towards the aft again. Someone repeating the same phrase over and over again. No.
Like on the other side of the wall?
Yeah.
Not the dividing wall between this cabin and the other room, but on the back side, right?
On the back side of the wall.
Okay, I think it's back here, Dorian. It sounds like it's coming through the wall back here.
Okay. Dorian will go to the back of the room. He's kind of put his ear up against the wall and see if he can kind of like confirm that he heard it.
And I'm going to close the door leading into this cabin.
Okay. And then go ahead. Sorry, what were we rolling again, Dorian?
I guess another perception check.
Go for it.
20.
20. You're following the noise the way Ellis had described it to you. You're also following it from where you heard it before. And while you are kind of looking and pressing against the wall, you push in a certain way that some of the wall gives way and starts to turn slightly. You think you found a secret door.
Ooh.
Okay.
I want to look at the bird, make sure it's still out.
Yeah, it is.
Can I look at the cage? Like, see if there's anything on the bottom of the cage before we go through that door?
Oh, man. Yeah.
Alan looks at this.
8.
Oh, it's weird fetishes.
Um,
I'm gonna wear that bird, dude.
you wasted a bunch of time digging through the bird shit. You're not able to find anything in there of value.
Just a paper cut.
Yeah.
This tastes just like bird shit.
What has this bird been eating?
It's very salty. Try it.
So the rest of you notice that Dorian has sort of pushed and opened a secret door. Behind the door is completely dark. There's no light coming from inside the room.
Dorian, what do your elvish eyes see?
What do I see?
All right. So when you peek your head into this space, you open it just a crack so you can do so. You see in the darkness the body of a. I made it sound like it's dead. You see the live body of a sea elf that is chained to the floor. There's a manacle and chains for each limb, so both arms, both legs, and he's basically tied down to the floor, and he's not even looking forward. He's looking down at the ground, and he's again saying help over and over again in Elvish. It's also taking a lot of effort for him. It's like he's running out of his throat has gotten very dry from saying it so many times at this point.
What do you see?
There's There's an elf in here. He's chained up. He's got manacles on him.
Is there a barrel next to him?
I don't see one now.
No bell.
Is he an angry elf?
How big is the room in there? Is it the only thing in there? Is he the only thing in there?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna go up to the elf and I'm just gonna whisper to him in Elvish, like, I'm here. I'm here to help.
Shut the fuck up! You're being.
You're gonna give us away.
Dorian, what are you doing? We don't have time for more cargo. We're here for something else.
Seems like a slave or a prisoner. We have to release him.
That won't be noticed. Running around, how he got free.
What if he's not the only one?
Then if we kill him, they won't be out so much.
While you guys are both gabbing, the elf is going to respond to Dorian, and he's excited to see someone else of his kind, someone else that's actually just not one of the pirates or the smugglers. And he'll say, "Have you come to save me?"
And then I respond back to him, I don't know. Who are you? How did you get here?
I volunteered to help with the ship. I was looking around one night and I found that they were smuggling some goods in the bilge, and then next thing I knew, I was knocked out and I found myself in this room.
Alanon, what are they saying? Do you understand me, Alanon?
I understand you. I don't.
Does Alanon speak common? We're gonna retcon a lot of things.
He speaks common, but at the same time, as they're going back and forth, he wants to actually grab the hooded lantern and walk inside and kind of get a better idea of what's inside with the elf.
Alanon, give me another religion check.
No, that's fucking out of the tray. Oh, that is a 6.
All right, can't help you. You think you noticed something, but you're not sure where it is. You're not sure if it's in this room, another room, whatever's going on. But your spidey senses are tingling still, but not any differently than they were before. Okay, so you bring the lantern in. You're able to illuminate the room some. Inside you see this elf that has bluish skin. He's got gills on either side of his neck, and white hair. His hands are only moderately webbed.
Kind of fish person, huh?
This elf has been cursed.
At that point, seeing him, I would assume dehydrated, I actually want to give him some water.
All right. When you offer him water, he'll greedily take I assume it's a water flask, and drink it down. He'll empty it and return it to you, and he'll say, and he's gonna tell Dorian, again in Elvish, my name is Oceanus. I need if you can free me, I promise I'll help you do whatever you want. I just want a chance to turn against my captors.
What is his name?
Oceanus.
Oceanus?
Oceanus?
Oceanus. Oceanus.
Well, I suppose we have another mouth to feed now. I'm telling you, if we let him loose, they're gonna come down on us. This whole gig will be up.
Yeah, but we can't leave him here.
So I'm actually going to tell Alanon and Ellis what he's told me so far. It's it seems like he witnessed them smuggling something, and before he knew it, he was held captive, he was knocked out.
Ask him what it was they were smuggling.
I relay back to Oceanus. Did you see what they were smuggling at all?
Yeah, I only saw it briefly. It looked to be scales of some sort. I assume spell components.
Scales?
Yes. I don't know what necessarily. I only saw a few scales before something struck me in the back of the head.
Did they look like these? And he flexes his arm.
They were drug scales, idiot.
I thought the other kind of scales.
Assuming that information is relayed to him, is like if you are speaking in regards to scales that you find on a creature as opposed to weights and balances, yes, that is what they were like.
Which one?
Scales that are like those of a person or creature of some sort.
Told you. So I had to flex.
Maybe he changed his mind because he saw that. So,
Should we free him?
I say no. I say let him be. You can unchain him, but tell him we'll be back for him.
At least he knows the boat, though.
Well, that's fine, but we could be on this boat for days. And we can have this guy, blue skin, white hair, webbed feet, running around.
I think he might know his way about around the boat. I mean, he did work with them for a while before seeing what he probably shouldn't have.
I just don't think it's a wise choice until we get to Galen. That is all that matters to me.
If we set him free and let him loose, at least that way they could probably consider it that he freed himself. I mean,
the chains. How did he free himself with chains? Did he chew them off? Logistically.
That's for them to figure out, not us.
Well, tell him to at least hide his eyes and count to 100 and we'll go hide.
Alright, well, Alanon, speaking to the third person.
You can do that, man.
Yeah.
I do that all the time.
I don't see any keys around here. At least try to pick his lock.
Very well. I attempt his lock. 9.
All right. You're not trying very hard, and you're not able to unlock his shackles.
Encourage me better.
You can do this, little buddy. I got faith in you.
10.
Really don't want
Was
to
that
go.
when you rolled on the dice, or was that when you
I
got
rolled a
total?
4 the first time and a 5 right now.
Oh my god, no.
So my dex and proficiency, it's +5. So it was 9 the first time and 10 the second
No,
time.
you don't do it.
My heart's just not in it. I can't. What can I say? Here, you try, and I give him the picks.
Actually, Alanon wants to turn to Dorian and ask him to tell, what was his name again? Ocean Ass. Ask him if he knows anything about a man named Galen.
Okay, so I turn to Oceanus, like, do you know who Galen is? Have you heard of this name before? Have you seen him?
There's a drawn out pause, and he turns to face you, and with like a look of dread in his eyes, he says, "I've met him." And I think that's where we're going to end our session.
See, Ellis, you could positive ID this guy.
Before we end it, tell me what he said.
He's seen them before. He's met them.
At that point, I rally up.
No,
take
don't
my
bother
tools.
the call at this point.
That's where you could end it.
Alright, I'm gonna stop the recording.
Thank you for joining us once again on Roll the Hard 20 podcast. Remember, you can find us and subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and iHeart Radio. And if you like what you're hearing, please leave us that 5-star review. You could also contact the show directly at rollthehard20podcast@gmail.com or head on over to the website at rollthehard20podcast.com. And be sure to check out the galleries. We got a lot of really interesting stuff posted there. And finally, join us on our Patreon page at patreon.com/rollthehard20podcast. There are ways for you to help out the show and pick up swag. So until next session, keep your dice warm and your glass full as you roll those hard 20s.